Just try it. Try something.
Here it comes.
I don't know.
Oh, shoot. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now. That's right. Get on your jockstrap. And that's you too, ladies. It's time for Victor Allen's New Sports. That's right. Written and directed by Victor Allen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is, the man that ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate. Here he is, bald-headed black man. He's Vic and Sports, motherfucker. Yeah.
Why you gonna use the MF word, man?
What? That wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was in the. Somebody put that in the promo.
Wait a minute. And everybody,
that was not me.
And I'm passing this along right offhand because Miko gives me the updates from other people. They say, Victor, you think you slick. You know, you think you sit over there and you try to play like things affect you, and they really don't. Well, they do. Because nobody's cussing and going buck wild until they get to new sports and hot picks.
I cuss in my other ones.
Okay, what did you say today?
I said the F word.
No, you didn't.
I said the F word, the P word, the T word.
Wait a minute. Did you not use the D word yesterday?
I used the D word and the E word.
See,
sometimes the W word.
This is wrong.
And for some of you who just have trouble spelling in the first damn place, you'll know what the hell we're talking about. That's cool.
That's cool. That's cool. I can't believe you're doing this. All right, man, let me get into my sports because it's sports around sports. I was jacked up that you start off my segment with the MF word.
Who?
You did it. You said.
My father.
Right. You wrong, man. You're wrong. All right, man. Let me go on and talk about this because I'm trying to find out where everybody's going to be at. I don't have to talk about the NBA Finals until I know where everybody's going to be at. So before I even introduce anything be at. I'm going to use be at. Yeah, I'm not supposed to end it on a. I know. Yeah, I know. But I'm ghetto. Now let me finish.
Me too. Yeah, we both are. We're ghetto.
We're ghetto.
Yeah, we're
I'm ghetto.
We're bad.
We're
really bad.
His is, I can't help it.
I'm ghetto.
He just plays like he is.
They call me Chitlin. Sometimes we call him Pork Chop. It's Chitlin and Pork Chop. We're ghetto.
Okay, this is it. Everybody knows. See, mine comes out. I'm just part of the community. Mario's a wannabe.
Chitlin. Just call me Chitlin.
All right. All right. Mario, you don't have any plans to go actually watch what we call this NBA Clash of the Titans anywhere because there's nothing making you really want to watch it because there's no bad guy or bad.
No, I want to watch it. I want to watch it.
You sure?
I want to watch it, and I said before, unfortunately, these are a bunch of teams that I like and respect. Bunch of people on each team, a bunch of people.
Right.
That's what makes Popovich, I just think, even with his old, he has turned out to be at least one of the more steady. At least you know he's coming from. I've worked with cats like that before, that are constantly demanding, constantly. But you know what? That's where we come from. That's the way Pakistani operates. We are constantly demanding excellence. I like both teams, Vic. I don't have a dog in this fight, but that doesn't mean I don't want to. I really do want to watch the game. We will have some food.
All right, now let me do this because I just got an update in the chat room.
I got guacamole and some salsa too.
Now, Miko, you sure? You should ask anybody else in the chat room if they can't hear me. All right? So if you can't hear me, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. Is there anybody in the chat room who can hear my voice? Because all of a sudden she says she couldn't hear me. And I think there's some updates going. There's some streaming lags as well. So I'm just
fix your shit. Did you hear that, motherfucker? Fix your shit.
Yeah, she got
How's
it.
that?
See,
Did you hear that? Fix your shit.
Mario.
I'm sorry.
There's a 13-year-old outside the door crying right now.
Oh, they heard shit. Anybody 13, they talk worse than that when they on their phone. They just got through saying a bunch of 13.
Right. I know. Look.
And PFC said his audio's having a stroke.
Wait, I can tell you this right offhand. When there's a lag in the stream, it could be video, audio, or both. And I know you're going through it.
But get your stream together.
Mario, stop giving them the hand.
I have to do it.
Let me stop. All right. I'm going back to it again.
He had updates.
You said something the other day. You said, I don't have a dog in this race or a horse in this race. And I'm saying that's because nothing has elevated you to have an interest because you don't hate Miami.
No, I have an interest.
Well, and whom?
And both teams.
Okay,
I want to see them go at it. I don't need to hate you. Okay. Y'all don't know, but Vic and I have a history. We used to go play basketball. I actually threw lob passes. I think Vic even threw me a lob pass.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I tossed it up. I tossed it up.
When I could sort of jump.
I got
he
one
did
assist.
a semi-lob.
I got one assist per game. Right.
So I say that because we had some intense competition with other friends, even with my brothers here in the backyard, with my brother. Intense competition.
Right.
But I never needed to hate people to compete intensely.
Yeah, but
I never did. So I don't feel that. I think you can respect somebody and still want to beat their ass in damn basketball.
Well, only reason why I'm saying this is because they're trying
beat
to
Miko's ass.
They're trying to
kick your ass, goddammit.
You know
I'm gonna slam it on your ass, Miko. I'm calling you out. Bring it. Bring it. So I'm going to slam Miko in basketball.
See, this is what happened.
Telling you, I ain't going to hold back on her ass.
All right, I want you to understand.
I'm going to jump on her. Next thing they're going to find her dead, draws wrapped around her head.
Okay, first of all, draws. All right, let me stop. What, panty wrappers? What? What's up? Okay.
Call you out like Dolomite.
I have to apologize. I have to apologize because I know people who are really into sports are going like, I'm not interested because they want to go to the fantasy sports stuff. So I got to keep that in mind that people are looking for data. Now, a lot
so you
of times,
want to hate. You want to make hate.
No, I don't want to make hate. What I'm saying is what they tried to do is show Tim Duncan giving what he calls his very professional analogy about looking forward to Miami and we want to go to them. Not like just say this, if a Lance Stevenson was saying, yeah, I want them. I want to take their head off. It'd be totally different. But Tim is the ultimate professional. So he never comes across that way, and they're trying to manufacture this. My point is this. When they create the story, I don't like that story if it doesn't exist. And you prove the point. You don't have a horse in this race.
Well, that doesn't mean I don't have good interest. I'm saying, why can't it be all warm and fuzzy? Why can't it be friends competing? Let me tell
you what you do.
When
it's Lakers and it's a championship, you actually pick a horse. You say anybody but the Lakers with Kobe. Don't you? See, he's full of shit like you.
I'm not sure how the Lakers are relevant to Tim Duncan, and I like LeBron James.
Right.
Only reason why I don't root for Miami is because they already won too much. And I'm one of them people. I just don't believe after you get like 3 championships, I'm bailing.
Right.
I was going to bail it too.
Right, but he has 2. But you know what? Right now, LeBron is really 500 in championships. So really, it's not. Is it Miami or is it LeBron? Because
they both have more than one.
Right.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about Miami has the recent ones. So what I'm saying is this: and Tim Duncan. I've been a fan of his for years, and Tony Parker, and he was married to Eva Longoria.
That's right. That's right. That's right. All of it. So
all of that. So I give Tony. Tony's my man. Tony.
Okay. All right. Let me say this. Okay. I'll say the
I like Kawhi Leonard too. I liked him before.
Okay. Let me ask you this: game day. Are you going somewhere special, or are you going to do something special here?
We'll have some strippers come by.
See, that's what I said. See what I'm
and dance on the side of the monitor.
See what I'm saying?
You know any?
Wait a minute. I like
that. That can work on credit.
Thank you. PMC said the magic word. Thank you, man.
6 and 3.
6 and 3.
That's right. 6
you guys will never understand unless you guys watched the show yesterday. Miko is now known for 6 and 3. To go understand it, go watch yesterday's broadcast. That's all I can say. 6 and 3. All right, let me go on back to this, Mark. So bottom line is, you don't even lean towards either team, right? So you're not picking anyone.
I mean, that doesn't mean I don't want to see a good game.
Right. Oh, okay.
I want to see a good game. That happens to me before. That happened to me before.
Right.
You know, that did. Remember the Clippers and OKC? Except in that one, I kind of wanted
was more of a war.
Yeah, but who are you supporting?
Oh man, I wanted Clippers.
I did too.
But let me say why
I like OKC too.
Let me say this. Because OKC depended on 2 players only.
That's exactly.
And Ibaka was supposed to be that third.
And we wanted someone to challenge Miami
and play the best game.
We thought Clippers would be the best challenge
because they're more athletic and score.
That's why we both wanted.
Right.
We both were disappointed, even though I like OKC.
Right.
Even though I like them, we both were disappointed when they won that series.
Better story. If you got the Clippers to the championship game, you would have these pros and cons.
With Sterling,
you would have the
good.
Sterling wins.
Stiviano.
Then you have Stiviano.
He can make an appearance.
Right. You have Blake. You have Paul. You have all these stories that really mobilizes and galvanizes the nation, maybe even the world that's watching the NBA Finals, is so many stories spinning off of here. Now, let's create the story for San Antonio and Miami Heat. What's the story?
It's wonderful food,
See?
Tex-Mex cuisine. Do you understand the wonderful Tex-Mex cuisine?
Right.
Evolving in San Antonio.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's the evolving walk.
I apologize,
The
you guys.
evolving, they have a
I
wonderful
apologize.
walk area where you
I
walk
apologize.
along. They have like a canal.
They've already talked about the
They have
river
the
walk.
canal, the river walk.
They've already said
And they
no more
wonderful
river walk.
Tex-Mex.
Okay,
And
let
they have
me
the
move on.
Alamo.
I'm moving
They have
on.
the Alamo.
Let me just say this. I hope. Now, I don't know what everybody else is doing. I'm checking the chat room. Nobody's saying anything about where they're going to watch the game. That already tells you.
Because
they're
I'm
not
cooking.
looking. See, that's
So when I cook, there might be some food. Y'all, hey, I cook better than most people, mama. I ain't lying, okay? Just
Miko,
remember that.
what would I do with the Clippers?
Ask Miko how I cook.
That's not really the kind of question I would want to answer because it's not framed the right way. You said, what would I do with the Clippers? You should ask Stiviano. But anyway, let me go on to the next story. Next story is Pacers, Lance Stevenson, playoff antics was his best thing. Bigger issues loom. And I'm saying this story that's happening right now is about whether Larry Bird, do they want to keep Lance Stevenson? He's a free agent, and they're going to look at the future. So everybody doesn't like his antics, but I look at it as being they didn't have anything to raise their level up. Lance is the only one who looks like he's fearless. When I say that, I didn't see a change in his game. So if everybody else is not stepping up, Paul George didn't step up to his game, and Hibbert didn't do it as well. David West was maintaining.
That's pretty cool, man.
maintaining his game.
Hibbity, Hobbit, Hibbert.
I'm saying,
Hibbity, like the little Easter bunny.
I'm just
Hibbity,
saying.
hoppity.
So here you are. You're the owners of the Pacers. Larry Bird is your first in command to go into a direction. Do you go out and make sure you keep Lance Stevenson, or are you going to blame him because his antics, the blowing in LeBron's face, all that a lot of people didn't like, but he brought something to say, I got to irritate somebody.
You could teach him to work. I think he's a good enough player
Right.
with a bunch of other things that I like that you could get him to act better.
Right.
He can rein this in.
He can.
He can. He can rein this in.
Okay.
You know.
What do you think is the bigger?
And Miko is blowing in the guy's ear. That's the whole damn thing. Obviously,
Right. Wait a minute.
another sports enthusiast.
So wait a minute.
I don't blame you.
Remember, 6-3.
6-3.
6-3. Okay, Mario, check this out. What's a bigger issue, Lance and his antics that you have to get your hands around, or Hibbert?
Hibbity, Hobbit, Hibbert.
Okay. Also, Paul George being what they would call in the top maybe 5 or 10, not stepping up. Problem?
Yeah.
Other players. Let me tell you who else who
But
played.
you can still keep him. I don't know what he's costing. See, that he's one of the ones you have to weigh your costs
Right.
for him because
Right.
you're paying for them.
Right.
Hibbert too, because what happens is when you start looking around in the league, you're going to have to look at other centers,
Right.
and what they're going to cost you relative to him.
What's the future look like if you were Bird and you had Hibbert?
Change.
So you already see it, don't you?
Change. I think Lance Stevenson can stay because his quality of play is such he can learn to rein this in.
Right. So I'm still wrapping around the Pacers. The Pacers' future. How does it
Oh, it's
look?
good. It looks good.
You think so?
Yeah. I think. Okay, remember. Okay, let's step back.
They can't get no draft picks.
I know, but see, remember. Okay, let's evaluate it based on other things. I think what they were marveling at in the postseason, Vic, was look at the small market emergence within the NBA. So they celebrate that. Even with OKC, that's really a small market.
Right.
Okay. So this helps. We think overall,
Right.
you get some of these small market teams in there like that.
Right.
So when I say things still look good for the Pacers, they're in the public eye.
Right.
Okay, that's what I mean by that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're in the public eye. They're going to sell more tickets. They're going to sell less tickets next year or more tickets.
Right.
They're going to sell more tickets.
Right.
So, okay, I bet you more tickets.
Okay.
So then that's why I mean by it's up. It's up.
And-
They'll deal with the bullshit, but
Right.
it's up. It's still
Right.
up.
Right.
It's like the Knicks. They should stay up, right? They
Right.
should stay up because they're just where they are, the market, and the Pacers. They have a lot of fan loyalty in that small market, Vic. Too. No, they're solid. I think they're solid.
In just closing it out, how they played last year and the first half of this year, I don't know if they can ever get back to that. And the reason why I'm saying this,
Vic?
ever get back to it with the same group because they don't have
because
they don't have draft picks. OKC never has been the same since Harden has left. Never has been the same.
You know, I'm always a proponent of the worker bees, and I've said this before that every team needs to have those players that are not so glamorous
Scola.
who put in that stuff, and that's how you build.
Right.
That's how you take one of these situations and build.
Right.
And the smart people. So how come Popovich always does that? He always does that.
They're talking
Gets some people you didn't expect, and here they come busting through.
because he has an owner that stands behind him 150%.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you have, because we talked about this before,
Right.
you have to build that way.
Right.
To me, with the good, solid worker bees, where maybe you're not championship quality, but you become a very solid team and you represent it out and end up in the playoffs.
Think about this. Most of us, and Miko, I don't want to hear you say anything. Just leave me alone because I get my 10 minutes to talk about sports. Go to your room. Anyway, most players have to rely on a coach. Imagine you have an owner that's behind you 150%. That's like Mark Jackson saying the owners at Golden State were behind me 150%. Very hard to juggle. So to me, what's happening here is the ownership is never going to say we made a bad move with Harden because we went to the NBA Finals with him. We didn't win. But we haven't gotten there yet, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any better because the players around Durant and Westbrook, no matter how much those two get better, it's not enough.
If they had, let me just say something else. If they had Harden, they still have a big man issue down low.
That's right.
So I don't. So you know, we'd be talking about that.
That's why I'm gonna move on now. I'm gonna move on. I just had to just sit there and give the Indiana Pacers what I call let the press stay away from Lance Stevenson. He's not your problem. Your problem was the fall from grace with Hibbity Hobbert Hibbert.
Hibbity.
That's
Hibbity.
That's it. I want to see him do better, though. I want to see him do better. That's it, man. Listen. All right, Seattle, do you have a problem, or is this strategic? Is the man Microsoft, Ballmer, he's coming down from Seattle to say, you know what? They're going to approve this sale.
Yeah.
For the Clippers with the promise that he doesn't. That's part of the condition in the they don't have it in the contract. They want his promise that he will not up and leave and take the Clippers back to Seattle.
Yeah.
You said it ain't happening, right?
No, that's not smart. He's rich enough to buy a team for both.
What they're saying is
he's rich enough.
They wanted a team in Seattle, and they said for the price he paid, he could have built the stadium.
Right.
He could have done a lot more.
This is L.A. Do you know, first of all, even when they're talking around, let's just, okay, for all the people who think it's a crazy investment, because I have an article I didn't actually report on that shows what the other teams would be if you use this as a way to evaluate the other teams.
Right.
Yahoo Finance projected what the other franchise would be worth.
Right.
But my point being is that with the TV contracts and also the public relations benefit of being known as the person who rescued the Clippers, I would keep the same name.
Right.
He'll make, even in the long, it looks like even if he makes his money more slowly, he'll have made it all back within 10 years anyway.
I think the money is not going to be a bit.
Yeah, he's going to make it. He's going to make it.
I think the brand is where, if you were a $2 billion owner, first I'm going to ask you this, Martin. You know, both of us talked about this. Is there a better name than the Clippers?
No, not right now, no.
Would you want to change the name?
No.
You like the Clippers?
It has to do with the fact that there's now an historical basis applied to it that is priceless.
Right.
It would take you forever to build that name.
Right.
In other words, to be known as the franchise that turned around.
Right.
See, now you've got Cinderella's story written.
Right.
You were the worst franchise in any organized professionals area.
Now who takes over
to have that be turned around,
right,
and have the team they have now. Then when you add Ballmer to the story, so you're already making Camelot story, fantasy story.
Well, it's already made for him.
So the public relations benefit in the world we know, What is the yearly value of the public relations benefit of being known as the person to rescue and turn the Clippers around?
It's in the books, and we won't see it in the public.
So it's a win-win,
right?
So
we
to
know
me,
that.
he doesn't. You don't need to move him from L.A. I don't think he would. I think he's too smart. I don't think he's going to change the name for the same reason like this. The name has too much value. The reason why you're spending the money to me is to specifically inherit the name the Clippers. Now it's been flip-flop. You're specifically buying the name the Clippers to hold on and use that brand. That's what they're going to do.
And I sit there and think about a man who's never been involved in sports, but he's good with money, right? That's all that's required.
Yeah, an organization.
So he doesn't have the sentiments that we all hold dear in basketball as it relates to him being in there from day one and as a basketball
No, but he
aficionado.
does have that for the Seattle area, and that's why they still want that.
Right.
But he has enough money. I think Ballmer is ballsy enough to be the first person to own 2 franchises.
And so what I'm saying
if
is,
they would allow him,
the whole part of this is can an owner have 2 franchises?
Or you could be part of a group that buys another one.
I don't know if the bylaws or
because they want, bylaws are made by the people who run it, so the laws can be changed if they want you in there.
That's why you run this bitch and change your laws all the time.
That's right.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Dick is king. That's the law.
That's the law.
Miko,
I'm doing it a favor.
You still a princess.
And that's right. 6 and 3,
steal
baby.
No queen shit.
6 and 3.
That's right. You princess. Chocolate.
All right.
Chocolate princess.
I'm done with my sports, man. I want to move out of here because this is a long day, man. So
we gotta have some relaxation today.
I'm trying
to
do it. Look, I appreciate Miko and all your efforts with this, but it's another day.
Oh shit, that hurt. Breaking glass. Breaking glass. That's how we do it in the new sports. The sports that all the ladies be loving. Ladies love the new sports. That's right. The new. The new, not the boo-boo. Written and directed by Victor Allen. Bringing you all the latest and the greatest. The fans' perspective. The unique perspective. The new sports is a recurring segment of the Morning Coffee with Mario show. Recorded live Monday through Wednesdays to the 12 noon. You know how we do it. We bring it. Go home and tell your mom about us. Yeah. Whoa!